My name is Maria, I'm an entrepreneur, and welcome to my home in South Florida.
What do you do for a living?
Porn?
Meet Maria, a Miami multi-millionaire living a luxurious lifestyle.
I wanted to move to Florida. Since I was a kid, I had a dream of living in Florida.
What's the most money you've ever spent in a single day?
$650,000. I used to be a big dreamer, but I used to live safely. Anything outside of that gave me anxiety.
Can you give me some side hustle ideas?
At OnlyFans, we have consistently been successful and we've always been in a positive growth. Rock bottom for me was depression. I just didn't have any motivation to do anything because I was always self-conscious. I'm like, what are people gonna think about me? Like, how are they gonna receive me? I literally want to cry when I say this. Like, something inside of me was like, we're not done. Did you know who you are?
My name is Aaron Van Kampen. Every week on this channel, I release a video where I meet up with a multi-millionaire and ask them dozens of questions. Hit subscribe to tune in to this series and check out my free community Discord to meet like-minded people watching videos like this and striving for greatness. The link is in the description.
God, it's cold, get in here.
Yeah, I know, I can't believe it. Why don't you go back to tell me what the meeting me experience was like in that initial TikTok?
I honestly thought it was like a solicitor. You caught me off guard.
Hi there, sorry for bothering you. I love the blue house. I love the blue Tesla. I just want to know, what do you do for a living?
And the first thing that came to my mind was porn.
Did people really think you were a porn star?
They went on a witch hunt. We can't sleep until we see her vagina.
Wow.
Can you tell I love the ocean?
Do you have a lot of slippers like that?
These are my Sharky slippers next to my fish tank.
I've always wanted to have a fish tank like this, but I know it takes so much work. How much did this tank cost?
I think it's somewhere between like 30 to 50 is the most expensive one. That spotted guy right there. That guy was like $1,700. We have starfish too. Do you see that guy?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
There's two of them together there, like having sex or something.
Oh my God, they're hugging. Oh my God, they are having sex. Hold on. I grew up in Toronto. I grew up in Scarborough. People were like, you're from Scarborough? My parents thought it was a good idea to send me off to an all-girls Catholic school. And I think I lasted like a year. Honestly, the girls there were like just sex crazed. My father was a Greek immigrated to Toronto, and he met my mom. She's from Montreal, French-Canadian. My brother is 3 years younger than me, and we were just like this quirky little friggin' family.
What do you think people see when they first look at you?
Physicalities, like probably just like a quirky, bubbly, and then after they get to know me, they're like, wow, I thought you were like an airhead and a bitch. And I'm very smothering when it comes to my family. I always like to have everybody around, and I like to cook for people. When you come to my house, I'm gonna ask you 46 times if you're hungry. My kitchen is my little baby. I literally was able to pick out every element.
Let's see this at the fridge. Where is the fridge?
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a huge fridge.
Okay. Oh my God, it's a mess. I'm so
okay.
embarrassed. Don't look. This is the fish food section, so I don't let my husband mix fish tank food with our food. See? Yeah.
This is for actual fishing?
Yeah. Okay, no, he'd come home and he'd be like, babe, I'm putting this in the fridge. And they stink.
Yeah.
And then he comes and he touches the counter and everything smells like fish.
Yeah.
I love my husband. I love my husband.
Can you tell me about your aha moment that you realized your life was kind of gonna go a different route?
Literally uprooting my entire life as I knew it in Canada and taking the plunge to literally start over and move to the US.
How old were you then?
I was 34. I had been previously married. My son is from my first marriage. When we started that process, it started to become real. Because I've always lived safe. Anything outside of that gave me anxiety.
When did you start your business?
I started my business in 2012. When I met my husband, he was practicing as a chiropractor. He had built a software that he was using in his office, and we saw an opportunity. I said, we could do something with this. So when we started building it, it took us kind of by surprise how quickly the company started to pick up.
So Maria obviously does many things for money, and one of those things is a software company she started with her husband, which basically helps chiropractors run their businesses. But we'll dig into that more later.
Such a beautiful backyard. What are your neighbors like? What is it like living in a community like this?
I'll be honest with you, there's like really high profile people that I can't tell you what they do, but they live all over here on my street. Like you meet people and you're like, that guy lives on my street. Whoa, that's so freaking cool and I can't tell anybody. We had a 5-year plan and we're like, in 5 years, we're gonna live in Florida. You have no idea what it's like starting your life over in another country, even though it's Canada and US. I sold my house. My son was young, 4.5 at the time. I was going to commute back and forth every month to see him. And I was like in tears. I called my husband on the phone. I'm like, I'm just moving back to Canada. This place fucking blows. He's like, calm down. I'm like, I just want my driver's license. My car's name is Lightning Pops.
Lightning Pop, of course, is blue.
Come on in. I'm gonna show you where it's at. Watch.
Oh my God, even as the sound.
Dude, do you hear that? It's a crackling fire. Wait, it gets even better. The heat. This is very romantic. This is getting a little awkward. Should we be holding hands?
Who's the most interesting neighbor on your street?
Me.
How many things are blue?
So my mailbox is blue, my car is blue, my house is blue, my fish tank is blue, my kitchen is blue, my boat is blue, obviously the pool is blue. I love blue because it is where the sky meets the ocean, and they're both
beautiful.
different blues. Yeah, I'm gonna put the
should
fire
we- should
back
we
on.
be
We'll hold
holding
hands. I'll tell you what's not blue are my husband's.
Oh my God.
Buy my book. We'll talk about that later. I would see how my husband did things because when I met him, he had written 2 books already. And I'm like, I've always wanted to write a book. And he's like, okay. He's like, so write one. And I'm like, you don't just write a book. And he's like, yes, you do. Decoding the penis. I got this published in 2014. I wrote it and published it all within a year. I was doing relationship coaching back then, probably 4 or 5 years, because my background is in psychology. Basically, it's geared towards women navigating a relationship. Simple things that we kind of don't think about when we go into relationships. So it's kind of like, hey ladies, it doesn't have to be that hard. I knew that I had somebody in my corner that was encouraging me, and he gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I think I can do this, you know? When I met my husband, the thing that really prompted me to like write the book was we got into this massive blowout. It was like so stupid. I don't even know what we thought about. My go-to, I was like, fine, I'm leaving. Stomp, stomp, stomp to the door, fake slam the door. This guy's gonna know I'm serious. Even if I have to fake drive halfway back to Canada.
Oh my God, that sounds so toxic.
And I remember he was like, okay, let me help you. And he literally packed my suitcase, took me out to the car, text me when you get home. And he closed the door and went inside, and I was like, he goes, let me tell you something. I will treat you like a queen. Do not treat me like your schmuck. He goes, say what you mean and mean what you say. And in that moment, I'm gonna marry this guy. I was so turned on.
What and when was your rock bottom?
Honestly, there was a time in my 20s where I think I literally spent like 4 or 5 months at home. Like I didn't leave my house. I developed a lot of anxiety for like no reason. I just like kind of got into my head and it was like a really rough time in my life. So I've always struggled with anxiety and it would always come back because I was always self-conscious. I'm like, what are people gonna think about me? Like, how are they gonna receive me? Some of the risks I took was putting myself out there and just like, being real, you know?
Tell me what this is for you.
This is my DJ room. So this is where I actually do most of my mixes. My husband, he would kind of like mess around with me. It's fun.
On the DJ table.
Yeah.
Among maybe other things.
Dirty mind. Pervert. Hello, and welcome to my bathroom. This is where all the magic happens, where I transform from my daytime life to my nighttime life. So come with me while we turn into tumbles for the night. My husband is the one who taught me how to DJ probably about 10 years ago. I started out on Twitch streaming. Then as soon as the world opened back up, I ended up starting to get live venues in South Florida, and it just picked up from there. It's my nature. I'm so driven that if I know that there is a ceiling or if there's like a finish line, I want to reach that. And then once I get to that finish line, I'm like, what's next? It's never good enough, which is kind of a good and bad thing. I always have a hunger and it's never like quenched. I'd love to get into producing and remixing music. Mark my words, I will be extremely well known for a song that I remix and produce. I can taste it.
What is the first thing people assume you do for a living?
Stay at home and shop.
Okay.
So the business that we're in is 100% online based, and the entire model lives in the cyber world. I own 3 tech companies. So one of them is a medical software, electronic health records company, a marketing company, and then a medical billing company. We actually own the product that markets all of our 3 different software companies.
Can you tell me what your responsibilities are?
I actually run our customer service, doing our implementation, training, help desk. So it works really well because I'm a more interpersonal, touchy-feely person. I think if my husband was in charge of help desk, we probably would lose a lot of clients. I love my husband. I love my husband. It's hard being in a relationship and then being in business together. You have to know how to navigate it because it literally has the ability to make you or break you. There were times that we were like, oh my God, I love you. And there was times I was like, oh my God, don't talk to me like that. You don't talk to me like that. No, you shut up.
Can you tell me some of the trials and tribulations that you went through to get your company from day one to where it's at now?
We found out that the way it was built was something that was not going to be scalable or usable into the future in the way that we wanted it. We just wasted $175,000. I remember my husband coming home, and I remember the look on his face, and he said, it's done. It's like the whole thing is garbage. He goes, I'm done. I felt like my husband has always been so supportive of me, and it was the one time that I need to be there for him. I'd never seen him like that before. We're not done. I poured him a shot. I'm like, take this. I'm smacking him in the face. You're not done. You got this? Did you know who you are? It literally felt like the locker room, during the Super Bowl. The next morning, he wakes up, he goes, God, I got such a headache. He just called me later that day, and he's like, we're not done. We have something here. We have to keep going. So we started from scratch. 2 years under our belts, gone. We started over.
Maria and her husband Damon risked it all, failed, tried again, and succeeded. And that resilience is how they earned their lifestyle and a boat in their backyard with Maria's name on the side of it.
Why Tumbles?
So Tumbles is, it's one of my nicknames. Literally come tumbling into the room, you wreak freaking havoc, and you freaking tumble back on out like a shitstorm. It's what was that?
Well, it's so beautiful. I'd love to go out on your boat.
Yeah, we can totally go out on the boat. You want to go out on the boat? I gotcha.
We're driving down the intercoastal. I'm flying the drone, and I end up hitting a geo zone, which means you can't fly any further. So we circle back. The drone is dying, so it's automatically dropping. And I'm reaching off the front of the boat, and I go to reach for the drone, and it's just out of my reach. It actually cut me a couple times, the blade, because it's so fast, and I fell in the water. The drone is gone. Ashley's gonna kill me, but whatever. I'm just really glad I got to keep my phone. Look at her face. It's like she doesn't even know what to say.
And to put the cherry on top, we go to get into the car, and the car key was in my pocket, and it's gone. Look at her face.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Can you tell me about some of the biggest personal challenges that you face?
I remember getting close to turning 40 years old, the 39th year of my life. I wasted it just obsessing over the fact that 40 was coming. And that 4 number gave me a pit in my stomach. And it was so stupid. I truly started to understand what it meant to feel content with myself. When I see somebody who's young and impressionable, even when I look at my son, I wish that I could take all of the things that I've learned in the past 20 years and just gift him with that confidence. I used to have a lot of friendships and just a lot of freaking people in my life just to have them around. And now I'd like to say that I have less, but more quality.
You need quality people in your life. And if you're looking for them, odds are they're looking for you also. They're probably watching this video just as you are, which is why I decided to make my free community Discord where you can network, form new friendships, business opportunities, and whatever your heart desires. You can also keep each other motivated by using our unique leveling system. You can do this by visiting the Achievements tab on Discord and publishing an accomplishment that you completed that day. Every time you post in that thread, you will get experience towards your next level. Additionally, if you want to earn more experience, you can have other people upvote your accomplishment. Now, you can only post there once a day, but it's a great way to show support for each other and just hold up accountability. This community is completely free. The link to join is in the description, and I hope to see you all there.
Have confidence in yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. And honestly, just like have fun. My advice to girls would be to take the time to invest in themselves first and to not allow the world to tell them who they are or define their worth.
What does it take to do what you do?
The business-driven people are like type A personalities. They're very motivated, people who don't give up. Don't tell me no. I have that trait. My husband hates it. Did you say no? So you're saying there's a chance.
Do you feel like you've achieved your childhood dreams?
I feel like I have. We talked about moving down to Florida and living under the palm trees. Having my son, that was huge. Having the relationship I'm in with my husband is my business success because I always wanted to build something to that level. Put yourself in the company of people who can help you. Every time I would go out and I would go to a bar or a club, I would walk straight to that DJ booth and I would say, "Hi, my name is Maria and my DJ name is Tumbles and I'm a DJ." Half of them probably thought I was an idiot. Put yourself out there. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's extremely rewarding to see the magic that you can actually provide to people and then the energy that happens from that.
Hit subscribe for more videos like this. Join my free community Discord to network and form new friendships. And check out this video to meet a 29-year-old who in 9 months built a business worth over $100 million.